If you've been thinking about buying a home in the Greater Des Moines metro area, then this is the video that you want to watch because I'm going to share with you 7 mistakes that you should avoid. Unless you like making mistakes, then maybe do them. But really, 99.9% of people should avoid making these mistakes. So of these 7 mistakes, I'm just going to get right into it. They're in no particular order, although I'm saving the best mistake for last. But let's start off with the mistake of biting off more than you can chew. And this can present itself in multiple ways. You may think that you can take on the biggest remodel job and then find out that that is not actually who you are. So if you currently do not have tools, or you have tools and you don't know how to use them, you've never really owned a home, you're not quite sure what level of project that you're willing to take on, I would encourage you to not bite off more than you can chew, because that is terrible when that happens, when people call us and their house is in a shambles because they only know how to tear it down, not build it back up. It's also really common to bite off more than you can chew budget-wise. Just because the bank says that you can get pre-approved for $350,000 doesn't mean that you have to spend $350,000. So think about your monthly budget. When you break it down into what you can afford for your house payment every month, which would include your mortgage payment, your taxes, and insurance, all built into your mortgage payment, plus your utilities and other monthly expenses, plus saving a little bit of money for incidentals that are always going to happen when you own a home. I call that the joys of homeownership. But your house is now going to need you to invest in it. So you need to build up a fund for that and take all of that into consideration when it comes to your monthly budget so that you don't bite off more than you can chew. Similarly, when you're out shopping for homes, you might be inclined to be looking at that top price that you're approved at. So if you're approved for $350,000, you might be looking at homes that are priced $350,000 or maybe $355,000 because you think you can get a discount. Well, it all depends on the type of market that you're actually in at that moment. And in this moment, on the day this video was recorded, we are not in that market. We're in the market where you probably need to be looking at homes priced at $325,000 so that you have a buffer to offer more than list price, because you're probably going to be competing with other offers. And the discount, probably not the market that we're in today. But depending on what day you're watching this video, the market could be totally different. So do not be discouraged by that. Call us and we'll have a conversation with you about what you can expect in today's market. Okay, so I kind of alluded to another mistake in there, not being competitive. Wanting to get a little bit of a discount off of the list price is great. Everybody wants that. But when that's not the market you're in and you're stuck on requiring a discount, or you are determined to lowball the seller and make it work, well, going back to that's not the market that we're in, but also your offer isn't competitive to what other people are offering. And so until you become competitive, you're not putting yourself in a position to win, which is a big mistake. Another mistake is lacking vision. When you walk through somebody's house and maybe they're not the best housekeeper, or maybe they don't have the same taste as you in their furnishings, their decor, and their belongings, you've got to be able to look beyond that, because they're going to take their stuff with them when they move. And so you need to be able to see the bones of the house. Are they currently ugly because there's some old wallpaper from the 90s that you probably want to take down? Or maybe it just needs a fresh coat of paint in a beautiful color you're going to pick out once it's your house. Have the vision to be able to look beyond what's there today and envision what it's going to look like when it's yours. If it has good bones, you can absolutely make it beautiful. But remember to not bite off more than you can chew project-wise, because that's easy to do. And also remember that there's no such thing as a perfect house. Every house is going to have flaws. There is no such thing as a straight wall. Every home is going to have its own personality, its own quirks, the weird things about it that make it unique. Maybe that make it uniquely yours. Sometimes buyers have some serious expectations, and this can be another big mistake. When you expect everything to be about you, you're probably going to be disappointed, not only in real estate, but probably in life. So when you expect that the seller is going to accept your lowball offer and they're going to take your incredibly out of control inspection request, and you expect them to move out and let you move in before closing and all these things that just aren't actually done in a competitive real estate market, you're going to be disappointed and you're not putting yourself in a position to be competitive and win that offer. So it's a mistake to have incredibly rigid expectations where only you are the winner, because let's face it, that's just not how things work. And you're going to need to be flexible to a certain degree. We're going to do our very best to make sure that you get the best deal and the best terms and all of those things. But it also depends on how the market is on the day that you're in the market, on how much of your way you're going to get. So again, let's have a conversation before you're disappointed. A common mistake in a fast-paced real estate market is when buyers think they have more time than they actually have. So you're probably not going to have time for a second showing. You are probably not going to be able to take your parents to look at the house this weekend because it's going to be sold by this weekend. When you are looking at the house with your agent, you're on your showing appointment, your agent is going to ask you questions. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Does this make you want to pack your bags and move? What is the feeling you have in your gut? Does it feel like this is your house? If you have that feeling, and trust me, when it's the right home, you'll know. It's when you have that feeling, you need to act on it right now. There is no time. And that's the market that we're in today, because if there are so many other buyers looking at that same house, and you're quite possibly going to be in a multiple offer situation. And so taking too much time to think about it, or to go back tomorrow to bring your family or a friend or whomever to look at it, there just isn't time for that. And we would hate for you to make that mistake and miss out on the home that you truly wanted to have. Another mistake to avoid is not being prepared. And we're big believers in being prepared for just about everything. So when you work with Heather Wright and Associates, that's me, I'm Heather Wright. When you work with us, then we will prepare you. We will give you a checklist on things that your lender is possibly going to ask you for. We're going to make sure that you get pre-approved before we go look at houses, because it doesn't make sense to go look at homes, fall in love with them, mentally move in, and then find out it's $10,000 outside your buying power. Oh, what a heartbreak that you do not deserve. So we're going to protect you. We're going to protect your feelings, and we're going to protect everybody's time to make sure that we're not wasting it until you are prepared. Not to mention, since there is no time available in the market, if you are not prepared and you don't have a pre-approval letter and you go look at a house and you want to make an offer, no one's going to look at your offer without a pre-approval letter. That is not a serious buyer in the eyes of a seller. So that's why my team and every other real estate across the United States will tell you, hey man, you got to get approved. We're also going to work together to think through your wish list. What are your wants versus your needs? What are the things that you can compromise on? We're going to make sure that we understand exactly what it is that you're looking for to help you find it. And then we're going to put together an offer strategy. How can we help you maximize your offer so that you stand out in the crowd of offers that this seller is considering for their home? We have lots of tricks up our sleeves, and we're ready to pull them out to make sure that you get the house that you deserve. And finally, the most important mistake you don't ever want to make is not listening to your realtor. Right? Look, I know that this is a lot of money that you're spending. I get it. It is a huge investment, and we support you in the decisions that you're making. But we also do this for a living. We have helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, almost thousands of people, collectively, probably over 1,000 people. My team has helped buy and sell real estate. We know how it works. So when we tell you what to expect, well, you should believe us. We have no reason to lie to you. There is a code of ethics involved for a realtor in real estate, and that code includes being honest. So when we tell you that there's no time, we want you to have the edge by understanding that up front instead of learning the hard way because you didn't listen and then you lost out on the house you really wanted. Now, I also firmly believe that you will get the house that you're meant to have. So if you make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the mistakes in this video, I understand. Everybody has their own journey that they're taking when it comes to real estate, but we would be remiss if we didn't try to help you make that a little bit easier. So whether you are working with me or my team or any other agent, listen to them. Ask them why they're giving you that advice. If you don't understand what they're saying, get clarification, because I'm certain that all they want to do is help you find the house that you have told them you wanted. And if we can make that a little bit easier for you, that's all we want. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to get off my soapbox here and work on my next video, which will be mistakes that sellers should avoid. So yeah, I'm in a real mistake-making mood. Stay tuned for more.